Hey everybody, Alex Cutler 247 here. Thank you guys so much for jumping on this video. At the get-go, I am not a licensed financial advisor. This is purely for entertainment purposes, so let's jump into it, shall we? Alright, so this is what we're going to be covering for this video. We're going to go over the chart analysis for the weekly chart for CCIV in coordinates with current events and how that affected the chart movement. We're also going to be going over CEO Peter Rawlinson's interview with CNBC early Friday morning, and then we're also going to go over the company vision and future plans via Rawlinson during the Lucid Air reveal. So stick around and let's get going. So for the first off, we're going to go through the chart, and really, even with the volatility, that's still a very beautiful chart. Still a very strong upward movement. It had actually formed a nice, strong, symmetrical triangle that actually broke out during Friday's spike. So let's go over what happened during this week's stock market. So overall, there was a nice little spike on February 3rd going on, and then all of a sudden a little bit of a bomb dropped, which was really manipulation, truthfully, but we'll get into that. So on February 3rd, Elliot Brown from Wall Street Journal dropped that Lucid Motors deal is not imminent. Even though this man, Elliot Brown, has no credibility for this because he has not been covering Lucid Motors for a very long time. He hasn't been covering it at all. The only two people that I would say that has any credibility on this matter is Ed Ludlow, or their writers at Bloomberg, as well as Russ Mitchell, because both of them, Ed Ludlow as well as Bloomberg, have actually been covering Lucid for a very long time and has connections that are actually in the company, unlike Elliot Brown, because Elliot Brown actually has a history of bashing anybody that dares compete with Tesla, which absolutely I do love Tesla, but there's plenty of room for competition into this sector. So Elliot Brown, like, truthfully, shame on you for manipulating the stock. And then Walter Bloomberg from Twitter, who has a decent amount of following, posted a typo saying that Churchill Capital 4 deal with DirecTV isn't imminent, and a lot of retail investors with a lot of emotions freaked out and sold. As you can see with the movement of the red candlesticks, a lot of volume dropped because everyone freaked out after the news about DirecTV supposedly still in the picture. And then he posted a correction later. Again, you got to be careful with what you post on Twitter because a lot of retail investors are going to freak out on it. So truthfully, shame on you, Bloomberg, for that post. But again, there's a little bit more to the story than people really want to know. So later that day, just somehow right when it breaks around $28, almost $27, there's a massive purchase of around $23 million, a large print. And again, shout out to Trade with Alerts on Twitter. Thank you again for posting this information for the public. It's very coincidental how after those two major posts that caused it to drop like a rock and then it halted, a $23 million large print occurred. Seems like the whales and sharks wanted you to sell and you played right into their hand. So let's go on to the next day. So on February 4th, not February 5th, again, forgive me for my typo, Forbes, Alan O'Hansman, posted this great article on Forbes that gave the cover to Peter Rawlinson, stating that Elon Musk's ex-chief engineer creates a new car and says it will beat Tesla. Now, in the whole article, there was a lot of great key points, but I want to highlight this one, is that Rawlinson says that the company will work its way down from $169,000 Air, which is the Dream Edition, to more affordable cars in the mid $40,000 range within 5 years. That's going to be predominantly going with the expansion plans of their plant. So they're going to be expanding AMP1 as well as building AMP2 in Saudi Arabia, and then obviously expanding that. So in order for that to happen, they have to expand and expand quickly. So this is actually really, really good news, and I want to make sure to highlight this because in order to make that happen so the margins don't hurt the valuation or the amount of revenue that's coming into the company, they have to increase their capacity in order to lower the price of their vehicle. So by 5 years, they're saying that they're going to be fully up and running, or at least be probably around the capacity of going around 400,000 vehicles by 2025, and that's very impressive because right now Tesla's pumping out around 400,000 vehicles right now, 400,000. So good things to come. So it dropped, and again, retail investors just didn't really care about the article. They just got tired of the fundamentals being broken because of continuous amount of attacks from manipulation, and then it dropped below $27, and then there was a massive bullish sweep alert, again, courtesy of Theta Warrior on Twitter. And with this, that means that there were a massive amount of purchases for options, where there was two purchases, one for $246,000 worth of options, and then $256,000 worth of options being called, which shot off a trigger for options alert, which means someone's putting down a lot of money and expecting it to grow and spike substantially. So a lot of news coming, which causes it to go and spike up and have a nice steady, almost parabolic-like spike. And then on February 5th, the morning of February 5th, no one knew, there was nothing planned, there was no highlights about it at all. There was the CNBC exclusive interview with Lucid Motors CEO Peter Rawlinson, and it spiked like a rock. We will go into the interview, but I want to highlight this, is basically to highlight why you should not be emotional when it comes to investing. If you sold and you freaked out on that sell point of around $27, you would have missed a potential 34.6% of potential profits if you sold. That's why I continuously preach to all my followers to don't be emotional when it comes to investing. Know what you have and trust in the research, trust in the connections, and you will be fine. And this is the exact chart that I wanted you to see. So let's jump into that CNBC interview and watch it in its full.
We're very happy to have Lucid CEO Peter Rawlinson join us now to discuss the industry overall. Peter, good to have you. You know, where is Lucid's place going to be in this industry, given a potential entrant from Apple years from now, but more specifically, Tesla, obviously, GM committing so much to the industry, Ford, and even the luxury automakers in Europe as well starting to ramp things up. Where does your company fit in?
Well, you see our very first vehicle, the Lucid Air, in the background behind me. And we're aiming initially, unashamedly, at the luxury space. Luxury cars are dominated by the grande marques, Mercedes, Audi, BMW, Porsche, and they all have one thing in common. They're all gasoline. So there isn't an electric luxury car available in the market. That's our first position. But progressively, we'll make cars more affordable and we'll increase our volume accordingly.
You are going to start rather small, of course. I think it's annual capacity, the first phase of 34,000 units. You expect to produce 6,000 to 7,000 units this year. Is that correct? And we're talking about where? A starting price for that vehicle around $70,000?
That's absolutely right. The Air starts at around 70,000, goes right up to 161,500 for the Dream Edition, the model we're going to start with. Fantastic car. And we've already built our first phase of our factory in Arizona, which is good for 34,000 units. But that site ultimately will be capable of producing 400,000 cars a year when we implement phase 4 with our 6-year plan.
When is phase 4 coming?
Mid-2000s and 20s.
Mid-2020. So it's a 6-year plan.
Yeah.
Costs a lot of money to do that. We had Yasser Al-Rumayyan on from the PIF last week discussing, of course, in part their investment, one of your significant holders. Do you have access to capital that you need in order to actually pull off all those phases?
We do indeed. And the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia have been great strategic partners. This is much more than a financial arrangement. This is a long-term strategic partnership. You're absolutely right. This is a capital-intensive business. But we've taken the approach we need to be vertically integrated. There is no substitute for having in-house manufacturing and an in-house retail experience. So we're having our manufacturing in-house and all our retail studios, and we've already opened 6 of those right across the US.
Peter, Jim Cramer, as we talk, I'm exploring the idea of reserving with a credit card the Air Dream Edition, $161,000. Why am I doing that? Because it's available summer of 2021. How many other people are reserving their various Lucid Airs right now? And can you give me a sense of the demand each day?
Well, it's overwhelming, Jim, and I'm really glad you have impeccable taste, sir. We have a bulging order book. It's growing daily. as people are becoming much more aware of us as a company, as a brand. We were pretty silent. We were in almost stealth mode until our global reveal just last September. I like the car to do the talking. And, you know, it's going to be an amazing product when it comes out this year.
But what do we do? I know you work with Elon Musk. You've got a cordial relationship with him. This is 517 miles projected range, 800 horsepower. Obviously, that's 0 to 60. I don't know, in 2 seconds. What makes me want to pay this much more than a Tesla? Everybody loves Tesla, don't they? I mean, high consumer satisfaction, that kind of thing.
You're absolutely right. I mean, Tesla's done an amazing job, and that's what's placed it in its preeminent position. But Tesla recognizes this is a technology play. This is a technology race. That's why Tesla enjoys such a high market cap. And I'm really disappointed that the traditional auto industry hasn't really taken up that baton and really compete with Tesla at the top table. Now, our car is competing overtly in the luxury space against the likes of Mercedes-Benz. So I don't really see us as a direct competitor as Tesla in the product. But it is a very valid comparison to compare us with Tesla in terms of our technology. And in a sense, Lucid is a very similar position to where Tesla was 10 years ago. Tesla had the tech. The other entries didn't. And we see today a whole phalanx of startups in the EV space. They don't have the in-house technology. That's what differentiates Lucid. In-house technology, world-class electric vehicle tech.
Right. Well, all right, just give me a quick example of what that means. What is that?
Well, the core metric is efficiency. It's not range per se, because anyone can stuff a whole load of batteries in a car and achieve great range. I could double the size of the battery pack, double the range of the car, couldn't I? And that's pretty dumb. I'd call that dumb range. What really matters, the most telling metric of where any electric car company is today, there's a single metric, and that is efficiency. How far can I go per kilowatt hour? And we can go well over 4 miles per kilowatt hour. This is world-class technology here in the US. Lucid's going to take the tech to the next level. That is our mission.
All right. Well, Peter, if I want to get a sense for how investors view your company, I need look no further than shares of CCIV. That's the symbol for Churchill Capital 4. It's a SPAC. And I'm sure you're aware of the fact that the speculation around it has been that you will merge with it to go public. Is that the case?
Well, you know I can't comment on any such matters. I can neither confirm nor deny any such thing.
Well, let me ask it in a different way, though. Given that we've watched that go up since there was, I think it was originally a Bloomberg report saying you were in talks with them. I mean, if you're at one value in terms of the way you're thinking about the company prior to this, and then you watch this stock triple based on the expectation that you will be merging into it, does that change your own prospects, or I should say your own view of the value of Lucid right now in the public markets?
Look, I think Lucid value will be truly realized when we've got this kind of production. I say every day that until we've made a production car and we start selling to customers, you know, we haven't achieved a damn thing. And the team back at base is working flat out now to industrialize this car as we transition from primarily an engineering, a tech, an R&D company to a phase of our growth where we become a manufacturing entity.
But are you going to become a public company, either through IPO or a SPAC?
I really cannot comment on that right now, as you know.
All right, I hope that you enjoyed that interview. I absolutely did. And truthfully, overall, there's nothing negative whatsoever. Look at that face. That's a big smile. Again, you have to pay attention to the overall body language of the CEO. And he has a terrible poker face. Like that face upon itself just basically shows you that there are good things to come and there should be an announcement very soon. But him stating neither confirm nor deny is a very big thing to pay attention to, because people don't understand this, but per the New York Stock Exchange listed company manual, Exhibit 5H27 states in that is that if the rumors are in fact false or inaccurate, they should be promptly denied or clarified. Neither company, whether it be Lucid or Churchill Capital, has denied these rumors whatsoever. Something to pay attention to. Exactly. Because if it was truly false, they would have said something. So let's get into the company vision with Peter Rawlinson.
We need to have a vision and a strategy. And I see three prongs, as I've outlined in the video. First is our cars. We're going to have a beguiling range of cars. We have a 10-year plan. We have a multi-platform plan to really take electrification to a whole new level. I promised when I came here we'd take it to another level. I believe this is the first manifestation of that. And we're going to see progressively, relentlessly, we'll keep that position of the highest technology in our products. So that's the car products. But also we have this tech division, our technology division. And a great example is what we're doing in the world of World Championship Motorsport. Really turned that on its head with our technology. We're going to do the same with our energy storage because of its sheer economy of scale and mass producibility. That's what we've really cracked. I want to do huge things with solar and renewables. And I see that division of the company, frankly, being as big as our cars over the next 6 years. And then the third thing, which is quite exciting, because our technology is so miniaturized and because of its efficiency, that drives down cost. And it's further driven and amplified that cost down by the manufacturability. I can see our product in other manufacturers' cars because I think that time is of the essence. So those are the three pillars: our cars, our tech, and our tech in other manufacturers' cars.
All right. That should get you really excited. For that interview, throughout the reveal, to hear these things come out of Peter Rawlinson is very exciting, and it's basically taking out the blueprint from Tesla. And again, if any company that could potentially run the blueprint of Tesla, it would be Lucid, because of Lucid's ability to be vertically integrated and have a history of having such an efficient battery technology, which right now Tesla's just starting on building their technology in the battery and revolutionizing as well as evolutionizing it. But again, Lucid's very ahead of the game via its competitors. So let's go into those three prongs. So Peter Rawlinson wants to have vehicles on multi-platforms, from the SUV to the sedans to trucks, God knows, maybe even a sports car. But the tech division, they want to revolutionize other industries via motorsports. They are already involved with Formula E racing series. They want to take care of solar technology and then energy storage. Kind of sounds like Tesla to me. And then becoming an OEM. They want to distribute their technology to other companies. That's another revenue stream. All these revenue streams are going to continuously build the valuation of Lucid in the eyes of the shareholders, the investors, and this thing's going to just spike and be so substantial. If you pay attention to the article from Forbes, they're going to be dropping their vehicles all the way down to $40,000 within the next 5 years, and that means incredible expansion, and that's going to have to happen by these streams of revenue as well as some funding through a SPAC. So if you pay attention to all the connections, you pay attention to all the research, SPAC is the only way to go. And with all these things that Peter Rawlinson wants to go and expand into other sectors and create revenue streams, this is going to help the stock overall. So a lot of people have been asking me, what are my projections for the price? And truthfully, I have had bold statements and I've had conservative statements, but with this one, I will be mildly conservative. And I'm going to say, with everything, I expect it to be a $100 to $120 stock by the end of 2021 as they ramp up their production with their factory from AMP1. So they're going to be around 10,000 vehicles for 2021, but truthfully, it just really depends on how quickly and how efficient their factory is building. I could see them really outperforming that 10,000. I think they're really being really smart with the numbers. But again, it's really exciting. So I really appreciate you guys jumping on. Make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe if you're brand new. And thank you guys for your support. If you have any questions, make sure to comment below or make sure to follow me on Twitter at AlexCutler247. So thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys very soon.